Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. This bulletin is coming to you live from the Joy 99.7 FM studios, Kokomlemle in Accra, at digital address GA0993341. Also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, affiliates across the country, including Pad FM in Dalmango, Jubilee FM in Keta, and Sunshine FM in Boko. It's on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. The news is brought to you by UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, Digibank, Let's Go, Telesol 4G, Just a Touch, and SuperSem, Build Your Dream. In this edition, Joy Clean Ghana campaign obstructed as Jamestown Assemblyman assaults My Joy Online cameraman after public health officials apprehend owners of one household in Jamestown accommodating 25 people using just one toilet. We have details as police call for reinforcement. Meanwhile, Sanitation Minister chides some residents of Mamobi for failing to keep their environments clean.
Joy is doing an exercise they need to be commended. They are doing on the spot. So when they catch you, you'll be embarrassed. You should encourage the households to be cleaning.
We have details. Also, governing NPP welcomes proposal by Electoral Commission to reduce voting time from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. during national elections, adding the duration should be reduced further.
But for us as the New Patriotic Party, would have loved that it's even reduced like 2 hours so we could close at 3 p.m. But this consultation will need further consultation with the stakeholders. I'm saying this because we need to look.
We hear live from the Director of Elections for the opposition NDC on the matter as well. We have sports.
The Black Meteors team still trending following their dramatic qualification to the Africa Under-23 Nations Cup. We'll hear from a former vice president of the GFA who has lauded the coach and the players for a wonderful job in Setiv yesterday.
And you've not been forgotten. Ministry of Special Development Initiative assures residents of Odododiodio who are demanding their money under the NPP government's one constituency $1 million promise.
These are hard times. We have realized the promises are all lies. Where is the $1 million promised every constituency?
Residents here say they need the money to fix dilapidated school infrastructure. We'll hear from government and more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apau. Now let's start off from Jamestown here in Accra, where the Joy Clean Ghana campaign was this morning obstructed as an assemblyman there assaulted My Joy Online cameraman. Now this was after public health officials apprehended owners of one household in Jamestown accommodating 25 people using just one toilet facility. Nancy Emefa Dradosi will tell us more on how it all went down with Inspector Joseph Asitanga on day 2 of the Joy Clean Ghana campaign.
We are nipa boy 20 something. Now see when you use toilet. E chire say e bi amukọ toilet no wo bathroom na ma chichire to baby me wa. Eba esa.
So we are currently at Jamestown. We are in a house that houses about more than 25 people. And the situation is that all of these persons share just one toilet facility. And so the AMA officials and environmental officers officials are serving notices to each member to ensure that they put up a new toilet facility.
We are serving her a notice to the co-landlord. They say you are two, the co-landlord, for you to come and reconstruct here, or you remove everything out from the place here. We'll come for re-inspection. When you come, we come. And you don't do what we are recommending for you to do, we'll prepare you for court. And when you get to court, we'll put an injunction on this property and nobody will stay here.
Well, the team is still on the ground, and like I said, it was obstructed by an assemblyman, and in the process, a Joy News cameraman was slapped and all. But Nancy Emefa Dradosi joins us on the line with more on how it happened. Nancy, tell us about how this assemblyman obstructed the whole exercise.
So we entered the particular house, and the sanitation officers noticed that dry plantain had been packed close to a toilet facility and also a washroom. Now, the officer demanded and asked why these were packed there. The woman said simply that that's the only place she could keep it. So the sanitation officer announced that and called for his officers to come for the plantain and send them and keep them in the bucket of the AME vehicle because it was not safe for anybody to eat this particular foodstuff. Just when the authorities carried the plantain and were leaving with it, the assemblyman took the plantain from the officials and demanded that they drop all the plantains and leave the community. The inspector and the AM officials also walked. He didn't even respect the fact that they have policemen around. He just demanded that everybody moves. Then he went back into the community, mobilized small boys, came back into the community and drove us out of there. Several attempts by the AMA officials to calm him down, to explain what was happening, just fell on deaf ears. In fact, his justification was that they were in election years, and so there's no way, he's not going to allow the AMA officials to destroy his campaign and call for people not to vote for him. And so we should leave his office. In fact, MSR, just when we walked out of the place, he asked that the people hoot at us, and so the entire community came to the street and were hooting at us. Our cameraman with myjoyonline.com, David Andor, was slapped on the face by the assemblyman. His camera fell on the floor, and then he was pushed out of the place. Just when we were leaving, that was not it. The assemblyman again followed us, the entire AME team, to the sub-metro office, came to the premises with his boys, kept shouting and screaming and threatening that he doesn't want to see any AME official in his area ever again.
And you say that in all this, there was no arrest?
Hello?
I'm asking whether there was an arrest in the process.
No arrests have been made. In fact, when the police called for reinforcement, the police guys came around. The assemblyman again stood his ground and sacked the police officers. But it was when the police officers brought us to the police station, the Jamestown police station, that the mayor just arrived and demanded for the arrest of this particular assemblyman, who we know is called Zola. And then the police has been tasked that this man be processed, arrested today and processed for court tomorrow without any delays.
Now, the mayor came to the scene. What did he say?
So, MSR, when he came, he says he was on a defense assignment, but this matter was of great importance to him, so he decided to come and witness what exactly was happening. He has been speaking to the commander, speaking to us. He says that he's going to follow the issue because he feels that this is the same Jamestown that the president stood and announced and said that, he wanted Ghana to be Accra to be the cleanest city in Africa. And so it was a danger on the government that people in this community would fight against the policy. And so he was taking this matter very seriously. He says he's going to follow up to the very conclusion of this matter. He actually told the police officers that he wants the police officers to report to him about the arrest of this gentleman and the process has been undertaken to process him for court tomorrow.
We can now hear from the Director of Public Health for the AMA speaking to Joy News.
The whole process has come to an end because we have been distracted, and we thought the assembly member in the area could have even given us his support, but he came to support his people, telling us that it's election time and very soon they'll be doing election, so we do not have the right to come to tell people to clean their environment. This is where politics have taken us to. Does it mean that if they are going to have elections, you shouldn't clean your environment? If somebody doesn't clean the environment, the person falls sick and die, would a dead person come and vote for you? I'm really disappointed. Really disappointed. So due to that, we are stopping the exercise, we are leaving, and then we'll look for another place and come next week. But as for today, we cannot work here again because his people are now furious. He should have even been at our back to tell the people to go back, but he has made the people to come forward to attack us, and we cannot be in a place. Our life is at risk.
You heard the head of public health at the AMA, but let's stay on sanitation a while longer. This time in the Ayawaso North Municipal Assembly, because the sanitation minister, Madame Cecilia Dapa, has been touring the area. Amongst others, he's been chiding residents and the health directorate for doing little in keeping the environment clean in that area.
These are people's homes. Before we get to the kids, let's see those who live in. They should be eating. Or is it part of the cheese house? Please. Yes. Where is the health, environmental health? No, it's in the cheese house. Call the person, please. Because this is not on. The other time we were here to greet the chief, maybe I didn't see it. You know, Joy is doing an exercise they need to be commended. They are doing on the spot. So when they catch you, you'll be embarrassed. You should encourage the households to be cleaning. It is part of us, our DNA. Ghanaians are very neat people, but some are very, very whatever too. You are the health officer.
Yes.
Do you go on inspection at all?
Yes.
Where? Within the community. Is this part of the community?
Yes.
Please come. Is this part of the community?
Yes.
When was the last time you inspected?
Last week.
Last week. And what happened?
Last week we made a visit.
This one is all 1 week. But we are not children. You see, we want to help ourselves. It's not helping you, it's not helping.
Sounds of the sanitation minister interacting with residents of Ayawaso North Municipal Assembly, as well as the health director, obviously unhappy about the situation there. Maxwell Agbagba is with the team and joins us on the line. So Maxwell, which areas have you been in the Ayawaso North Municipal Assembly?
Well, we've been to Mamobi and its adjoining communities. And in all of these communities that we've been to, the minister has been inspecting and making sure that they have dustbins where they dump their waste materials. In fact, in some of the homes that we've been to, there are drainage systems that run through the homes. Some of them have been covered with planks. She asks that the planks are removed so they inspect the drainage system and see what the content really are. But when we went to Mamobi, he spoke to the Zongo Council of Chiefs. The president of the Zongo Council of Chiefs actually appealed for support so they can properly distill the main Nima drainage system. He said that has become a major landmark and a part of the community. And it is very dirty and it has gone beyond the management of the assembly. So he's appealing for support so they can properly distill that drainage system.
Beyond the municipal assembly, we will need your support. And here too, as a chiefs, we must also work. We must also organize people from time to time. We'll be so happy if we can get a support, a logistic support, maybe wheelbarrow, whatever it is, on our own. If we see an area not so clean, we could organize ourselves not only on Saturdays or first week of Saturday of every month. No, on our own. If we see that no, this place must be put into a very tidy situation, we can organize without necessarily following on the municipal assembly. We only have to inform them. So we would like Madam Yofo, we must be able to be supported by this logistics to be able to move the community forward. This is the very thing that I say. The challenge is on the drain. Whatever you do, somebody will start from the drain. By having the break, he thinks that the whole community is like that. Because this way is more or less the gates.
Now, what did the minister say in response to the demands from the Zongo chief?
Well, she said that they're going to provide logistics to help them distill that drainage system. And she's also appealing to the community to help and support the agenda of keeping Ghana clean.
Which borders also with the Ministry of Environment, we work together. And then our own personal hygiene, what we do, where we sleep. And I encourage you, you shouldn't have brought shoes here. But we'll come I have noticed that you don't allow, and it's a good thing. Because we walk around, stepping into so many things, and we take it to our bedrooms. These are all examples that we should take. And we are here to see how the MC is doing, and also to find out for ourselves how work is going in this sector. Those have had reports. People don't pay for water. People pipe their sewage into drains. We want them to stop, and we need leaders like you, forward-looking leaders like you who live by example, to at least help us talk to the community, help us control and then eradicate all these problems that do not help with our health in the society. Because each people needs, every set of people, we need sanitation to give us dignity. If we make or churn our garbage and we don't take it out, you see what it can do.
You heard that Sanitation Minister Cecilia Abna Dapa. You can join the Joy Clean Ghana campaign with the hashtag Joy Clean Ghana, and it was coming to an area near you. So keep your environment clean. Now, away from that, the NPP during its 2016 election campaign promised to provide each of the 275 constituencies of Ghana $1 million to help speed up their development. In Odododio, residents say that money has taken too long to reach them, and they desperately need it to fix dilapidated school structures there. Jojo Kobina has the details in this week's edition of our citizen-driven series, Dear Nanado. Here's an extract from the mini documentary slated for broadcast later this evening.
The tide here rises, just like the expectations of the people. On the minds of the fisher folk here is this promise from the president.
Every constituency from next year onwards is going to get the equivalent of $1 million.
These are hard times. We have realized the promises are all lies. Where is the $1 million promised every constituency?
Through the Coastal Development Authority, the constituency is supposed to benefit from developmental projects worth $1 million yearly. This is the third year since the NPP came to power, and residents are yearning for 1 million one constituency projects.
One constituency, $1 million.
We are yet to see any significant project under the $1 million one constituency program. Here in Odododio, if you deliver on your promises, we will commend you. But if you fail, we will conclude that you have deceived us. I have faith that the money will be used for development. But unfortunately, we have not seen any projects. Authorities can say they have built schools, but the evidence should be there for all to see. Politicians always promise us, but they fail to deliver. After 4 years, it is only their families who benefit and live comfortably.
So a full documentary airs tonight on Joy News Prime at 7 p.m. on the Joy News channel on Multi TV. Now, the One Constituency $1 million project is to be implemented and the Government Infrastructure for Poverty Eradication Program, IPEP. Now, that program is under the supervision of the Special Initiatives Ministry. Public Relations Officer of the ministry says work is underway to provide toilets and water systems for the Odododio constituency.
We do have some issues with some constituencies in the Greater Accra region. Chiefly among them is the inaccessibility of land. Usually we depend on the community to give us, a piece of land so that we can carry out our project there. But unfortunately in the Greater Accra region, it does appear to me that accessibility to land is one major issue that we are grappling with. But with the water system and the toilet facility, we have spoken with the constituency, we've spoken with the district, and as I speak to you now, they have resubmitted some other project that they would want us to replace with the water that couldn't actually take place. As I speak to you now, those particular projects are going through, the procurement processes to ensure that they also benefit from some of those projects. And one of the projects that they really want us to actually use their 2018 allocator as part of the 2018 allocation is the renovation of one particular school. The name has also escaped me, but I'm very, very sure that I should be able to get you the name of that particular school and some other projects.
You hear there, Kabore Audu Moro. He's a PRO of the Special Development Initiatives Ministry. There, you're still listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll take a quick break. When we return, governing NPP welcomes proposal by Electoral Commission to reduce voting time from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. during national elections, adding the duration should be reduced further.
But for us as the new Patriotic Party, would have loved that it's even reduced by 2 hours so we could close at 3 p.m. But this consideration will need further consultation with the stakeholders. I'm saying this because we need to look
My name is Kwame Sefakai, and most of you know me as a media personality, but I am also a family man. The UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, saves me so much time by letting me do almost all of my banking transactions on my phone. The cardless withdrawal feature allows me to withdraw cash from any UMB ATM without an ATM card. I can also pay bills, transfer money, request for a loan, invest money, and so much more. So now, I can spend less time at the bank and more time with the ones I love. Bank anywhere and anytime with a UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, and get the time to do what you love most. Download the UMB Speed App from your Android, iOS, or Windows phone today. Call 0302-633-988 for more information. UMB Speed App, Digibank, let's go!
Kremasa, Ghana, so we correct Mason pa. And you make us super. Me a super Mason and Kasa. Because our job no and yet better. They won't see how beautiful and high quality your work is. That be what them they use believe you. That be why me too. It be only super cement at the use. Cement mu cement. Cement papa pa. Intere, me cries in yina from me cause super. Because me the super cement and DVD ra.
Super cement is designed to ensure that your buildings stand strong for generations. Build with Supersem Cement. Build your dream. Build.
Ago, my people, the Electoral Commission announces that the exhibition of the Voters Register comes off from Tuesday, 10th September to Tuesday, 17th September 2019 from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. All those who registered from the 2012 up to 2019 registration exercises should go in person to their polling stations to check if their names and particulars have been properly captured in the register. Go with your voter's ID card to facilitate fast checking of names. If you have lost your ID card, you should still go and check. Go to the polling station and have all your complaints resolved. Help ensure a clean and credible voters register by helping to remove names of deceased relatives. Come along with burial, death or obituary notice to help clean up the register. Let us help clean up the voters register to ensure free and fair election. Remember, the exhibition of the voters register comes off from Tuesday, 10th September to Tuesday, 17th September 2019 from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily.
So everyone says I'm a Kosia filler, but it's not like I'm nosy or go out to find out the latest filler. It's just that I get 50 megabytes of data free after paying for only the first minute of every call. And so I just keep discovering stuff minute after minute. That's how come I was minding my business, scrolling through my timeline, and I found out Coco has a new baby. Oh, and last week, I learned Ken won the lottery. You see, Ken is my brother's friend. So hello, look who's about to roll with the rich and famous.
Enjoy even more value with MTN Free After One. You only pay for the first minute of your call on MTN Free After One, and the rest is free. Plus, you enjoy free 50 megabytes worth of data to browse your favorite sites. So dial *315# to sign up. We day for you everywhere you go. Terms and conditions apply.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Let's do sports now, Benedict.
Yes, MFA, we are still celebrating the Black Meteors team after yesterday's qualification to the African Nations Cup. That's the under-23 level, which will be staged in Egypt. Now, the qualification came very hard after many ruled them out following an insipid play in the first leg, which was played here in Accra last Friday. Now, skipper Yayoboa scored the only goal in the game yesterday to finish the tie 2-1 on aggregate against Algeria. Former GFA Vice President Fred Papo has lauded the coach and the players for the amazing display.
Nobody expected them to have done what they did. It was very marvelous. Considering the hardships once again and the challenges within which they play, to have a team playing such a serious competition without the support of any serious management is extremely difficult and dangerous. Because look at the issue of a player not qualifying to play because he had accumulated 2 yellow cards. It means they've not had the benefit of even reading the rules of the competition. It was an extremely dangerous thing. For them to have talked success up to this, let me just use your medium to congratulate them. I've done that already to Tanko, but let me use your medium to do so, if you so please.
All right, so that was former Vice President of the FA, Fred Papo. A very grateful coach, Ibrahim Tanko, was under intense pressure going into the game. Says criticism and the poor display from the first leg made them better going into yesterday's game.
And I think the performance was very good. I mean,
we have to go back to the Friday's game. We have to apologize about the performance we put, even though the pitch was not so good. But it gives us an opportunity to see the Algerians, how they are playing, so that in the second leg we can map up a strategy to beat them. And I think we did what we could this evening and have a great victory.
So Ibrahim Tanko is coach of the Black Meteors team and Father Sports.
Thank you very much, Benedict. Now, the governing New Patriotic Party has welcomed the proposal by the Electoral Commission to reduce voting time from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. during national elections. EC Chairperson Jean Mensah says the Commission is examining a proposal to reduce the voting time from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. rather than the existing 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. duration. According to her, the move will allow for counting of ballots and collation of results before nightfall. Speaking at a conference on election-related violence in Accra yesterday, the EC boss explained the move could facilitate early declaration of results.
Currently, voters have between 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. to cast their votes. The practice in past elections is that voters wait until the last hour before they cast their votes. This results in long queues well after the voting ends at 5 p.m., resulting in the counting and collation of votes going well into the night. This has posed and continues to pose grave danger in that it compromises the security of the ballots and the safety of our electoral officers. As a security measure, the Commission will discuss the idea of reducing the voting duration from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Well, Director of Research and Elections for the governing NPP, Evans Nemako, tells Joy News the duration should be reduced further.
I think that this call by the Electoral Commission is in the right direction. But for us as the New Patriotic Party, would have loved that it's even reduced by 2 hours so we could close at 3 p.m. But this consideration will need further consultation with the stakeholders. I'm saying this because we need to look at the number of registered voters per polling station. We also need to know approximately the time it takes a voter to go through the registration, the voting process.
But how practical is this? How practical is it, given that, I mean, from experience, we do know that people queue throughout the day into the night. And so, how practical?
You heard the Director of Research and Elections for the governing NPP, Evans Nemako. Let's speak to Director of Research and Elections for the governing NDC, Mr. Elvis Ifriankra. We're grateful for your time here on the Midday News. So you've heard the proposal, reduction of election time from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. We've heard the NPP also asking for a further reduction. Welcome news.
First of all, we have not had any proposal. There is a proper forum and platform where if either the Electoral Commission or the political parties or other stakeholders have reforms that they wish to propose, the platform is created for it to be discussed. That is at IPAC. As far as we are concerned, this proposal has not come before IPAC in an environment where, without putting it out in the public domain, we can have meaningful discussions, do a proper analysis, and arrive at a consensus. So, since that proposal has not come before us properly, it's difficult for me to make any comment.
Okay.
Because it needs to be discussed exhaustively, with the pros and cons. It is a bit simplistic just to say that when you allow people votes to close at 4, polling to close at 4, then there will be no challenges.
We're grateful for your time there. That's the Director of Elections for the NDC, Elvis Ifriankra. Time now for fact-checking. What are we focusing on today, Raymond?
So we're looking at the claims from the General Secretary of NDC's press conference, remember, from yesterday, and the major issues of corruption, PDS and all of them. The first one he started with was the claim that per the FTR report, delays on the part of government gave PDS a convenient excuse to apply for all the important precondition of payment security to be sidestepped and restructured.
Government delayed certain actions, and because of the delay, the PDS used the delay as an excuse to now apply for certain conditions to be changed.
And what's the verdict on that?
This is mostly true. Indeed, page 20 of the report cite three main reasons why the PDS could not secure these demand guarantees. The first is to do with the delay in agreeing on the list of power purchasing agreements made, which is largely government's responsibility. Again, the PURC's delay in approving the rate setting guidelines and the initial rates that PDS was authorized to charge is the second one. Of course, one can argue that the PURC is part of a government structure. The third one, hardly falls within the terrain of government, is to do with the PDS itself, its inability to have a certain level of capital required for the issue of cash-backed payment security.
Well, that's a fact-checking. Watch what you say, because Raymond Nakwa will be fact-checking. And that's it for the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Meme Fapau. Thanks so much for your company.